In this video, I'm going to show you how to scale your ad spend. You're probably an online coach, already making money in your business, and maybe even already running ads pretty successfully. But where I see most people get caught is in this trap of spending 5 to 10K per month, and they don't know how to get to 100, 150K a month with their ad spend. They think it's just going to happen. But in reality, what has to happen is you have to spend more money on ads, right? And I'm going to show you exactly how I did it in this video and how I suggest live one of our clients scale their ad spend. It's literally a snippet from a group coaching call where a client asked me, hey bro, how do I scale my ads? So if you don't know me, again, my name's Brandon. I help online coaches scale their coaching businesses with paid ads, dialing in their sales team, and increasing their profit and monthly recurring revenue, building high ticket offers that attract high quality clients. So if you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, go ahead and do so after this video if you like it. But let's dive in on how you can scale your funnel, your ad spend to make more money.
So Brandon, I've heard you speak about increasing your ad spend, and, and there's a certain method that you've shown in previous calls where you're like, just increase it by whatever. Like I can't remember what it was, but it was like you were saying, like go like week by week, increase it by a certain amount. Um, so could you go through that for me, please?
Yeah, dude. So the best way would be let me say it this way. Once you have profitable um ads, so let's say you spent 2K and it turned into 6K in a month, right? The next thing to do would be shoot for like, you know, 4K, right? Because in the beginning, like 2K to 4K isn't a very big jump, right? And then try and get it to do the same return on ad spend, which would be, roughly 16K. And then if you wanted to jump again, 4K to 8K, nothing, that's not too crazy, right? You could do the same and then try and do, 32K. And then literally, whenever you start getting like past 8 to 10K, you can kind of stair step it like by weeks, right? So if you want to get to 16K, if you will, per month in spending, which should do like 64K, right? Then I try and up it by adding in new creatives like every Monday, let's say. Um, so for instance, the difference between 8K and 16K, right, is 8K difference, right? Divided by a rough number of days in a month is 30. So I don't know what that math is off the top of my head. Let me pull it up here. 8,000 divided by 30 is 266, right? Dollars per day. Okay. So that's how much you need to increase to get to 16K spending, right? So if you do that all at once, though, and don't see an uptick in sales, like your profit's going to take a big hit. So I like to do it week by week, right? So then if you're tracking, I divide 266 divided by 4, okay? And that's $66. So I literally just add $66 of ads week 1, $66 of ads week 2, $66 of ads week 3, 66 at the end of week 4. Now, you won't spend 16K, but you'll be on pace to the following month. And then whenever you're at this level, I try not to scale too fast. So then I would let it ride out at 16K and try and do 64. And then I would apply the same thought processes. So if you want to go to 16 to like 24K in ad spend, let's say, and try and pull out like 100K month, then I would do the same thing, right? And then I would start like spacing it out like 60 days at a time. Yeah, and another thing is like a lot of times people be running, just kind of, I was talking to Aaron, like $50 a day. And then you get like a sale, a sale, a sale, a sale. And then one of the worst mistakes you can make is not turning up ads because then the sales, kind of get sporadic, right? And then you're just kind of on this baseline of like, because even at best, like let's say you have a 3 to 10x return on ad spend. If you don't turn up your ads, you're still going to get the same like best case scenario. 1 month it might be 3, 1 month it might be 10, but you're never going to get the compounding effect of like investing, right? However, if you go from like 50 a day to 500, right? The timeline looks a lot more like this. Like their sales are a lot closer together because there's a lot more volume, right? And that's what everyone wants is like not going 3 or 4 or 5 days without getting a sale. Like we want them to look like this. So yeah, increasing definitely plays in our favor if you do it the right way.
And then what's a good ROAS? Because I mean, like I speak to some people, they say
People,
like,
dude, people on the
yeah,
internet will lie like crazy, bro. Like, look, in programs, and I know a lot of people who coach in these programs, like the top 1% ever in their programs, which you see like case studies about, get 10x. Like maybe like 20x. But the number 20x is usually like not realistic. It happened for a week or so what the real return on ad spend needs to be done over like at least a 90-day period, right? And maybe it is 10x. Like there's definitely people that get that, but that is phenomenal. That's freaking amazing. On average, dude, like if you're getting a 3x return on ad spend, you can freaking scale to the moon. Like, but 3 to 5, I would say is like optimal. If you could get to 5, anything above 5, dude, like you're in like fairy tale land.
yeah. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I
So I
was
guess
talking
my point
to
is a lot of times people don't scale their ads because they think that this is like a reality when 9 times out of 10 it's not. So like whenever you have this, this is when you should scale your ads,
okay,
right? And then
yeah,
two, if you are up here, like just thank Jesus and just praise God. Keep going, right? I will say what can make it better is a niche, right? Sales, being good at sales, knowing your numbers, like being good at follow-ups, right? And yeah, getting high cash collected. Because a lot of times the difference between a 3x ROAS and a 10x ROAS isn't even ads. It could be that someone's just getting more pay in fulls than the other person, right? Or they're doing follow-ups, or they are going after a niche that has money. So it's a lot more that plays into it than just, you know, oh, I'm getting a 10x return on ad spend. So,
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, honestly, I think anything over 3x I mean, in my opinion, is good, right? I mean, it might not make
oh,
sense
I mean,
at small.
oh, dude, just like let's look at the math. You spend 20,000, let's say you spend 2,000 on ads, you make 6,000, right? Here's where most people get bummed out because that's not a lot of money. You get the 4,000 profit minus software setter and you're like, I need to hang on to my $3,200, right? But this is a mistake because if you put 20,000, theoretically, that turns into this is a 3x return on ad spend, by the way. That turns into 60. And it's like, holy crap. Now you've got $40,000 for team software and you profit 20. If you're at 30% profit, most people are above that. So then it gets fun. So let's say you want to go, even harder with it, right? This is just a 3x return on ad spend too, by the way. Boom. Now you're at 120K. So a lot of these people like promoting more than that, like it's just good for marketing, but it's not reality. I mean, it can be. Don't get me wrong, it can be. But really the goal, dude, is like, 3x. And if you can do at least 3x, anything extra is just more profit, right? And again, like I said, praise God. If you can do better than 3x, like you're winning at life. But all you need is 3x to do the chart I just broke down right here.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, it's just it's a numbers game, right? You got yeah, I mean like at one or two sales or whatever, three or four sales, it probably doesn't make sense, but once you get to five or 10, that's when it starts like and I get that
Yep.
because I'm in that right now, right? I mean like I am getting a few sales, but it doesn't feel like much because like I mean it's only a few sales, but if I increase my ad spend and like get the numbers up to like five, six, seven a month, then at that point, I'll actually start seeing some significant cash flow coming in.
Yeah.
Um,
And then two, another thing, the only difference between, you know, this is why these are my two favorite numbers to track. Because the difference between ads on the left and cash collected on the right, if you understand these two numbers, then all it is fixing the gap, right? So between 2 and 6K, this is just a one-man team, right? Between 20 and 60, all that is 20K, right? And ads to 60K. All that is a setter, a closer, a coach, processes, and a banging course. So like this is just like zoomed in level of what this is right here, right? So then it's like it's so fun because then you literally just turn up ads and then you go from 40K to 120K. And what is this? A setter, a closer, a coach, processes, maybe two closers, right? Maybe a mastermind, right? What's the difference between 80K in ads and 240? Maybe it's three closers, right? Maybe it's two setters, one on Facebook. Maybe it's a mastermind, and then maybe it's a school group, low ticket. So then it's just like these are the main two numbers, right? That if you could dial in, you can figure this stuff out in the middle. It's just a lot of times like we get stuck in the middle and forget like the big vision of like what we're trying to do. And then one last thing, people will spend money on vacations, people will spend money on watches, people will spend money on all kinds of crap, but they don't have the courage or boldness or for there's plenty of other words I could say to spend money on ads. And I guess my last final point is a lot of times people get stuck between 2 and 10K a month and spend. And then at 30K a month to, 6K a month, like the problem here is there's not a lot of room in the numbers, right? Because you have to pay, taxes, you've got to pay software, you've got to pay. That's why, you know, I'm not going to say it's easier to do 100K a month than it is to do 6K a month, but it kind of is. Like it's an easier business to run at this level, in my opinion, because you kind of hired off the variables in between, and then you have money working for you. So
so are you saying even at 10K, it's still even at 10K a month in ad spend, it's still not consistent? It's still like,
it's
not as consistent.
consistent, but you're
Okay.
probably taking all of your own sales calls and coaching a lot of your own clients at that level.
Okay.
Yeah, but once you get to 60, then there's enough commission. If you're giving a closer 10% commission, they could make 6K a month, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so that's really
Um,
the journey. So yeah, guys, if you're an online coach trying to scale and you're like, yo, dude, this was super helpful, I put together another video that really breaks down the funnel that we suggest. It's actually way more profitable than a VSL, a challenge funnel, any of these other website funnels, and it grows your audience at the same time. We use Instagram and YouTube to do this, and it's super profitable. I guarantee you it's probably a better return on ad spend than you're currently getting. So if you want to check that video out, I'm going to link it right here. Tap that. It's a 30-minute training. I'm going to show you exactly how you can literally leave the video and set all this up on your own.